welcome to the Northland. Bugs. Today is going to be a kind of a self-help video on watches. I know there are probably not a whole lot of people out there like me who collect watches. Now keep in mind, I am not rich, believe it or not, contrary to popular belief. So I own one high-end watch that I'm not going to put on here, but most of my watches are maybe a little bit more than average. I look at it like, since I don't have a lot of money, I would rather own a bunch of really nice cars like Mustangs versus one Ferrari. It's just me. But I'm going to show you what we got here, and this is going to be basically on battery replacement, and why, if you have many watches, why it would be wise if you get away from me. If you did the battery replacements yourself. Now maybe you already do that, and if you do, that's great. But if you take them to a jeweler to have them done, or heavens forbid, a place like Walmart or Target or something like that, you're paying a lot more than you need to. So let's just dive into this real quick. And thanks to that fancy pressure washer we got, I just finished this deck yesterday, pretty much. Yeah, it's I like it. We kind of forget over time how nice things really look when they deteriorate gradually. It's like, man, what a big difference. Next up is these. Now, a lot of these, this one is actually at the manufacturer right now. It's the same as this one, but it's a mother of pearl dial. These are all Invicta Venoms, along with that one. And those are the ones that I don't replace the batteries myself. Supposedly, and I'll never know for sure, these watches are supposedly good to like 5,000 meters or something. Now, I'll never ever in my entire lifetime go that deep. At least I hope not. And I just want to make sure that these watches are as watertight as possible. They have, and there's a special process they have to go through to get them done. Most of these are all, in fact, I think every one of these are all Invictas, every single watch here. I'll replace the battery in these three, but the rest will go to the dealer, or manufacturer rather. These also are going to be all Invicta watches. This one, that's what all these extra bands are for. This one is you can change the bands on it. And all of these I will replace the batteries in myself. And these are, well, I'll show you in a later video, but they're all, to change them, the battery that is, they're all pretty much the same process. Some of my watches are on the very cheap side, and I mean really cheap. But if I have them, there's a reason I have them, and I'll explain that in just a second here when I show a couple of them. But and then I also, generally, I will pick, every time we take a cruise or a really long or cool vacation, like we went to Italy and stuff, I usually pick up a watch then as well. That's kind of my souvenir, my memento from the trip. This is a watch that we bought for my father-in-law. I like to call him my dad. I wished he was my dad, but well, actually maybe I don't, because then I couldn't marry my wife. But anyway, this was a watch that we bought for him just before he passed away. The watch he was wearing, he said it was broken, it wouldn't work anymore, so we bought this for him, and he never got a chance to wear it. So I keep this going for him. And the watch he did have, I have that as well, but I keep that in the bathroom. So this is a watch that we got in Italy. It's I can't remember the name of it. I can't see it. Barrera, something like that. Let me see, maybe it says on the back. Well, anyway. But you see, oops, this has the squares for the removal of the back. Can't remember what this one is. Oh, this is just the little screws to take the back off. This cheap watch, you probably can't get a cheaper watch than this, but this is the watch, very first watch I got in basic training. So I keep this thing going, and it's just, I tell you what, this thing has taken more abuse than any other watch I think I've had. This is a Citizen. My wife got this for me when we were also in Italy, but this was on our cruise in the Mediterranean. So I don't remember outside what port we got this. I think this was in Greece, but we bought this on the ship, so not that the port or country really matters. But I really like this watch too. I tell you what, talk about complicated. If you don't like if setting times and things like that are gonna make you pull your hair out, you do not want one of these. This is a pain in the butt to freaking deal with. And it's solar, so you got to keep it in the sunlight to keep it going. And we have a fancy watch here. This is a manual. And, I wear this special occasions with a suit. So wind it up. You just got to make sure you don't wind it too far and break the spring. And yes, I even own a smartwatch. So, for people who think that I don't own anything but analog watches, there we go. And this one, I am currently changing the battery in. I was going to show you, this is the one that has a little bit different case back than the others. This one is actually round holes, as where this one I would probably send that into Citizen anyway. And that was square. So yeah, and the one I'm going to show you here in just a minute was. Oh, there you have it. Again, it's if you own even just a couple of watches, and they're quartz movements like some of these, it really would behoove you to get what's necessary to change the batteries. So the batteries are cheap. You usually get a package of anywhere from 6 to 10 of them on Amazon for usually no more than $6 or $7. So, and most of these are not that hard to freaking take apart. So, you just got to be careful that you don't bend the crown or the stem for the crown or anything like that. But, yeah, it's just easy to do. Save you some money. All right, so those of you who want to work on your own watches, maybe save a little bit of money, or maybe it's just something you like to do. I picked up this kit off of Amazon. It's a Jorest. I can maybe put the link in the description below if anyone's interested, but it comes with really everything you'll ever need. I added the toothbrush and the magnifying glass myself, but it comes with a tool here to take the watch backs off, a pry tool, tweezer, a bunch of different screwdriver bits plus the screwdriver, some extra pins. Comes with a comes with a device here to push the pins out for resizing your bracelets. And small little mallet here. This is to hold your watch in place if you need to work on it. This I'm not even sure what this is for yet. So, but it really is everything you'll ever need. Now, I started to do this watch. I just got the back off or loosened so that I could show you the inside of this. And for that I used this little guy. The wheel here adjusts the space in between these two so that it will fit the back of your watch, and then it comes with a bunch of different pins here. Some are square, some are round. They're all different sizes, so that it'll fit what you need. I'm sure this thing has a name, although I don't know what it is. But if any of you have lots of watches like I do, and you are paying a jeweler to replace your batteries, it's $15 roughly, or at least where I was going. per battery. I can't remember if it was, yeah, it was $15, I think, per battery. And, you know, that adds up over a course of a year. I bought these batteries just yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. They came today. I think this whole package, was there 5 of them? $7. I bought another package with the smaller batteries, if I can get it out. Here we go. Sorry about that camera work. This case had 8, 10, I can't remember, 10 or 12, I think. And this was like $5. So, you know, $15 for paying a jeweler to have it done. The kit here was maybe $30. So, all told, it's probably like $45, $50 for everything. That would be, what, 3 times taking a watch to the jeweler and having them replace the watch and the battery, and it's paid for itself. So now, if you just run a single watch and you don't care, then obviously yes, this would not make sense for you to purchase. But I have many watches, and I get tired of paying a jeweler to do, or $15 to replace a stupid battery. Now, the back will dictate which of these pins you use. Obviously, these are square. Some come in round, and they're different sizes. So you put the square ones in here, and you put this in here like so, and then you just twist it. And it screws, it'll come off, and then when you put it back on, kind of the same thing, but you want to make sure that the gasket in here, let me see if I get a pointer here. Alright, so the gasket right here, you want to make sure it's intact, it's not all bunched up like right there. So I got to make sure that that is sitting where it needs to be before I put the back in place. Otherwise, the first time you go and wash your hands, you're going to get water in it, and then you're going to have to take it to a jeweler. So the hazard of doing it yourself is just to make sure that that gasket is clean and is in place and not sitting outside the groove that it's supposed to sit in. All right, so we just put the battery back in. It's usually positive side up, but just make sure when you pull out the old battery that you put the new battery in the same way. And I use the toothbrush to clean out the groove where the gasket sits. This little plastic piece, this will sit back in here. I'll show you that in just a minute. But before I put everything back together, we're going to verify, make sure that it is working, and it is. And so now, like I said, I'm going to try and do this one-handed, but so this little tab that goes over the battery, and the stem for your crown should go through this little opening. Oops, there we go. Oop. Trying to get this. Can't watch what I'm doing and do this at the same time. There we go. There we go, just like that. Now I'm going to have to, oops. Okay. And again, just double check that gasket before you put the back on. And just like that, we got it done. Now, I did have to fight with this quite a bit. The gasket kept coming out every time I tried to put the back on and tighten it, so then I'd have to take the back off, put the gasket back in. Anyway, I had to do that for quite a while, so just try and be patient, and if you can't get it, set it aside and come back to it. All right, here's a quick tip on, you'll notice the stopwatch hand is not lined up at the 12 mark. The watch is working. I just replaced the battery. You can see it ticking. There is a way to adjust this. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. I don't know if I'm going to be real successful. I already unscrewed the crown, but no, hold on. I'm going to put you down for a second. Pull it out one notch to where you would normally set the date. And then usually, let's see if this works, you usually hold the top hand and you can set the 1/10 of a second. You can see that one, oops, went too far. The dial on the right, moving, click, click. And now the bottom one will line up the big hand. There you go. All right, so I hope you liked that video. Please smash that like and subscribe, even if you didn't like the video. And what the heck? Share it with somebody. Maybe you know somebody who has lots of watches. Maybe you don't know somebody, but maybe they do own lots of watches. And send it to everyone you know. That way, if they own a bunch of watches, they'll know what to do. All right. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Tap the little bell after you hit the subscribe tab. That way you'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. And as you notice, I put up all different kinds of videos. It's not all car related. I know that's what most of you are here for, and I try to keep most of it that way. But every once in a while I like to throw in a curveball. And one last thing before I let you go. I want to welcome C. Brian 4177 to the channel. So welcome. Hopefully you will find this stuff informative, entertaining, enlightening, instructional sometimes maybe, or just a little goofy. But anyway, thank you for joining, and thank you to all the subscribers. I appreciate every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I guess that's all I have. I'll try and shut this off now. I'll stop rambling. So stay safe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.